about building a business in 30 days. I'm going to give you a formula. Pretty much everybody now in the world finally realizes that you want to have more than one source of income. So the best and easiest answer to create another source of income, because you can't really have two 9-to-5 jobs, is to build a little full-time or a part-time business. If you're scared of building a full-time business, just do a part-time one. Then you can keep your job. So I'm going to map out an exact formula here. And I'm going to put a link to I'm going to put a link that's going to be up for the next less than 3 days to a more advanced kind of training. But I'm here in London right now, so if my connection on this live isn't perfect, don't freak out. It's traveling through space across the world, back down to wherever you are on the planet. Here's you. Right now, I'm going to guess you have one source of income. One source of income. Only problem with that is, as everybody knows, if you put all your eggs in one basket, that gets cut off. You are left with nothing. A big zero. And a lot of people's bank account is getting close to a big zero. So the solution, the average millionaire has 3 to 7 different types of income. They've got income coming here, here, here. I didn't know this growing up. No one teaches this in school. In fact, they teach the opposite of school, because all school is pretty much doing is preparing you for one career. That's their solution. But if you rely on one egg in the basket, you will be sorely disappointed if that egg cracks. So if you look at Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, he has 100 sources of income. 100. I've counted it. You can go on his Wikipedia page, Warren Buffett, and look, he has, it's like 97 or something. I just rounded up because I'm sure he has some private ones he doesn't list. So let's just do it, since we're live, let's do a quick poll. How many sources of income do you have? Let's see what we got right here. We got, somebody said, let's go. Otis says he's from Omaha. You from Warren Buffett land. Well, that's good. Chuck says 3 sources. Ken Rico Leslie on YouTube says 1 job. So I'm assuming that's 1 source of income. By the way, don't count a source of income if you have some, $3 a month coming in from your Bank of America interest on your checking account. That's not a source of income. Rex Arizalo says 0. Ricky Goodman says unemployed. Okay, I started out, here's good news for you. I have about 15 sources of income. That's conservative. I really have more, but some of them are kind of grouped together. So I conservatively, I don't have as many as Warren Buffett. That's a goal. I'd love to have 100 sources of income, because then if one source goes bad, you have 99 left. You only lose 1% of your income. Right now I have 15 sources. If one goes bad, I'm losing maybe a 1/6 or a 1/7 of my income, which doesn't hurt much. You can survive off that. What you can't survive off is losing 100% of your income. So the solution is, if you're at 0, let's change the situation. You got your job or whatever else you're doing. Let's just at least get a second form of income. You can call it a side hustle. That's what some people have coined this term, side hustle. I think it's a good title. That means you do it on the side, you hustle a little bit, you don't have to put a lot of cash into it. Just something that you can put $1,000 into or $100 into, and it starts making you 1 to 10 grand a month. So that's my definition of side hustle. It can make you 1 to 10,000 extra per month. Okay? If you do it full time, you might be able to make more than that, but it wouldn't be nice if you had an extra $1,000 to $10,000 a month. I've been training people since 2012, but really focused on it starting in 2015, 2016, and I've trained, for example, one group of people around the world, over 25,000 people, how to build this income 1 to 10,000 with a very specific plan. There's multiple ways to do it. You can do it selling things on e-commerce online. You can do it, you can build a retail business. You can build a service business like walking dogs. You can deliver coffee to people. I think more people should do that job because people are addicted to coffee. And if you can get some really premium coffees, you just pay, Uber driver type people are easy to pay. Adrian just said back of my hair sticking up. Okay. This is raw. So that's our definition, 1 to 10 grand a month without having to put in more than around $1,000 to get started. Because if you have to mortgage everything and put in $100,000, like if you want to start a restaurant, that's not really a side hustle. You cannot start a restaurant unless you start a little food truck or a taco stand, which is fine, but that's still, you have to get regulation, you have to pass regulations, and you're probably gonna have to put $5,000 or $10,000 to even start a little food cart, unless you have, like, in LA, there's like people go around with shopping carts cooking hot dogs. I'm not sure it's legal to do that, so I don't recommend that. You might get shut down if somebody gets salmonella and dies. So legitimate business, you want legit biz idea, and I'm gonna give you this. This is what nobody ever thinks about. You want to target business owners. Everybody who has a business idea, almost everybody, they tell me how they're going to sell to like everyday people. The problem with everyday people, if you're broke, most people like you are also broke. So how are you going to get $1,000 to $10,000? Like, that's the only reason I don't recommend. It's like even the coffee business I'm talking about, you should go to businesses and deliver coffee to businesses. If you've got to deliver 1 cup of coffee to 100 houses a day, that's a lot of gas, a lot of time. The coffee's going to be cold by the time you get there. But if you can deliver it to one office and there's 100 people or 50 people in that office, it's efficient. Now, the coffee business is something, I'm just using that as an example. I have a better business idea for you if you want to hear it. But target business owners, because the average business owner who's doing well is making over, between $100,000 and $1 million a year. And most of them spend at least 5% on marketing. Most business owners spend, so if they're making $1 million, they have a budget of $50,000 a year. $50,000 a year to spend on marketing. They used to spend it on like billboards and yellow page ads, but now the future is showing them how to do email blasts and Facebook ads and coupons online and YouTube ads and Twitter and all this stuff. And the other thing is the average business owner is over 55 years old. What does that mean? They don't want to learn the new ways of marketing. Trust me, my grandma's 100 and a half. She's 100 and a half right now. I like saying that for some reason. 100 and a half. Sounds like she's 150, 100 and a half, century and a half old. But she's not gonna learn. She sent one text in her life. We showed her how to send one text, and then she gave up on it. Most business owners ain't that much more advanced than my grandma, but they have a lot of money. So a legit business idea is anyone, and a great one to start without much cash. If you want to sell to individual people, you need a lot of money. Elon Musk borrowed $3 billion to create a consumer product, Tesla cars. Okay? Do you have $3 billion to start? Probably not. So I'm not going to give you that idea. You can make a lot of money if you have $3 billion that you raise in investing, but I'm talking about for everyday individual person, because when I started out, I was sleeping on a couch on a mobile home. I didn't even have $100 to start. I had negative 100. So if somebody would have told me this, it took me too long. I'm gonna give you a shortcut. Pay attention. And by the way, I'm putting this link. I'm gonna put a link right below. Click it, or it could be in the corners, or it'll be in the description, pinned as a comment, wherever you are. If you want to see a longer presentation, I'm not gonna do this one very long because I'm going to a club. It's called Libertine in London. I'm visiting London for a little while. So I got to get out of here or they're going to close the door. They close earlier in London than they do in Hollywood. Or at least the door. They serve alcohol longer in London. But click the link, because actually that video that I put up, it's a free training program on how to do this more in depth, and I'll explain what it is. But I'm only going to have that video up for 3 days. You got 3 days. Okay? So click the button above and below or in the description. Or you can go to, what is it? TaiLopez.com
SMMA2
/SM. This is a secret kind of code. SMMA, let me spell it. TaiLopez.com /SMMA2 live. SMMA, the number 2 live. Okay, back to what I was saying. So what else? Criteria. You want to go after business owners because they're over 55 years old. A lot of them have over $50,000 a year to spend on marketing. That's $4,000 a month. So the average business owner, let's say the average successful business owner is spending $4,000 a month on marketing because they got to get new customers. If they own a restaurant, they need new customers. if they own a fashion line, if they own, if they're a dentist, a doctor, if they are a realtor. Everybody needs to advertise to get paying customers. So if they have $4,000 a month, what if you can just get 25% of that sent to you? That's $1,000 a month. And I'll show you how to set up a contract that they promise to pay you every month as long as you do work for them. Now you might be saying you don't know how to do the marketing. I'll train you on that too. I just posted this video. If you want to see something cool on my Instagram, I got a verified Instagram. If you haven't seen it, it's Ty Lopez. I have in my little highlights here, success stories. This is a guy who's just at my house, Nicholas, and you can listen to his whole thing, but basically you can go watch it on my Instagram if you want. And he was at my house in 2016. He saw me give this presentation. It was $1,000 to get in the advanced training program, and then he spent another $100 to form his LLC, $1,100, and now he's netting $20,000 a month on autopilot. He still has to do work, but every month he has contracts with people, and he's grossing about $350,000, but he's keeping 80% of it as profit, which I'll teach you another. So that I've created first person to get in the program. The first day he's become a self-made millionaire directly from this training. This program's created I was about to say trillionaires. I don't know where that came from. No trillionaires. There's only 2 trillionaires. There's actually no trillionaires in the world right now. Rockefeller was the closest, but he's dead. He was at 600 billion. So the next thing. So if you get a customer that's a business to pay you to do their marketing, $4,000 a month is their budget. They give you 25% of it as the fee for doing the work. That's $1,000. So just imagine this month. Here's a calendar. Boom, 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 boom. I'm just going to draw a rough calendar, okay? Not the exact right amount of days. But let's just say on the first of the month, you get one customer. They agree with a contract to pay you $1,000 a month. Now, come another month later, in the middle of the month, you get another $1,000 a month. And another, let's say, and I'll teach you how to charge the more successful businesses up to $10,000 a month. So let's say you get a big client, $2,500 a month, and let's say I'll show you how to charge people $5,000. My advanced students are doing $5,000. What do you got right there? $7,500, $8,500, $9,500. You're at 6 figures, and then I'll show you how to hire other people to be your assistant to do a lot of the work for you. That's another key thing. So go watch this advanced training. Click the link in the corners. It's up for less than 3 days. It's very powerful. Yeah, it's really powerful. So click that link. Now, what was I going to say? Yeah, this is how you create 4 customers. 4. How many businesses? Is this realistic? Is it realistic to get 4 businesses? You might say, Ty, I'm only 22 years old, or Ty, I'm 60. No one's going to trust me. Or Ty, I live in Bulgaria, or I live in China, or I live in a little town in Missouri in the United States. Well, the statistics are clear. In the United States, there's 20 million business owners. Probably more, but that's kind of recorded. Globally, no one knows exactly, but I'm going to guess for sure there's triple that. So it's 80 million potential customers. 80 million. You don't think you can get 4? Is that unrealistic? Well, I could tell you from true success stories, when you click the link below or in the corners, go read all the testimonials we have. It's insane. I keep on my phone a WhatsApp group. Let me see here. It's called Testimonials. Last I checked, I had 800. Now, that's not all of them. That's just all I can. I just send the very most cool ones, because a lot of them are like, oh, I'm making an extra $2,000 a month, which is awesome. But I keep like the really crazy stories. People send me videos. So check this one out. This is somebody, since I'm in Europe, this guy, Robin.Anzorg. You can Instagram DM him if you want to see if he's real. He goes, dude, I've been doing this for 1.5 years. I started with your SMMA 1.0 training early summer. And I've got 4 employees doing the work for me and $15,000 a month revenue. $15,000. 4 employees doing the work. That's not bad, right? This is somebody who, that's rags to riches story right there. I mean, he's not a billionaire, he's not a millionaire, but still, wouldn't you be happy with 4 people doing the work for you and you bringing in $15,000 a month? Now, I don't know if that's net or gross, but I'm assuming it's net. But even if it's gross, he did that in 1 year. Now he's got a legitimate business that he just keeps building and building and building and building and building. I started out, I always tell people, figure out how to make I remember making my first $1,000 a month. I thought I was like, my life changed, and then I figured out how to make $10,000 a month. This is a long time ago, more than 10 years ago. Figured out how to make $10,000 a month, and now my life changed. Well, I started traveling. Everything freed up. The burden on my back just like lifted. Because if you don't have money, you got a burden that is basically impossible to lift. It's almost impossible to lift. So I lifted it just with $10,000 a month. Then I figured out how to make $100,000 a month. And then I remember, it's funny, that was like, this is probably in like 2000, I don't know, 6 or something like that. And I was making $100,000 a month, maybe a little later, 2007, 2006 or 7-ish. And I'm making $100,000 a month, and I'm going, okay, I broke $1 million. I wonder if you can really even make more than that. Because in my family, I was born to a single mom. Like, my dad was in prison, and they didn't make money. My dad was a hustler from the streets of Harlem. You know, he's a drug dealer, so he went to prison for that. Then your income drops to 0. You get paid like $1 a day or something when you're in prison. My mom did like just, worked what she could, 2 jobs, made $100,000. I mean, 20 grand a year. She made $100,000 in like a decade, and I was making it a month. And I go, I wonder if you can beat this. And then I remember making $100,000 a week. That's $400,000 a month. And I was going, duh, I wonder if you can beat that. And you make $100,000, you make $1 million a month. And now, if I make $1 million in a month, I'd have a heart attack. Like, that would be very bad for me. And so the thing is, for each of you, forget other people's success and forget trying to be the richest person in the world. Just live a good life and take care of all the problems that you have financially with a simple system like this. There's 80 million potential people. Now, how do you get a customer? Easy. I'm going to give you the answer right now. You talk to 10. I give an exact script, what to say. 1 will say yes, almost always. Unless you're like insane. Unless you like have a face tattoo or something and you have like a weapon on you when you walk into the place. These companies don't have anybody helping them with social media marketing. Why aren't you doing it? You know what I think is funny is everybody's on their phone all day. They're making Mark Zuckerberg one of the richest people in the world. They're on Snapchat. They made Evan Spiegel one of the youngest billionaire at the time in history. Nobody thinks, how can I use this tool to make money for myself? Everybody just makes it for other people. It's insane. And sometimes I tell people, like, why don't you take your phone? And instead of, like, I'm on my phone sometimes. I look around, everybody's on their phone. I'm on my phone, but I'm making $1 million from it. All they're doing is making someone else $1 million. You got to think, you want to make money, you want to create wealth, you want to create a business in 30 days. You can't be like the sheep. Everybody's sheep. Maybe you can be a shepherd to the sheep, but you can't be a sheep yourself. You don't have to be a wolf and be mean, but you can't be a sheep. That's all I can say. And a sheep, my definition is somebody who's just like, oh, let me scroll through the Instagram feed all day. Let me scroll through Facebook. Oh, let me snap all my friends. I mean, I use social media, but I only use it for business. You will not find me ever scrolling through the Instagram feed. I'm glad some people do because I run Instagram ads, but I'm just saying, one of my mentors out in Nation said, Ty, if after 30 minutes you're in a room playing poker, if you don't know who the sucker in the room is, you're the sucker. So if after 30 minutes of you on social media, on your phone, you don't know who the sucker in the room is, it's you. You're the sucker. And if you don't look at your education and the modern system and realize you're the sucker in the game, universities make crazy profits, man. Harvard endowment's one of the biggest endowments in the world. These are $1 trillion, okay, coming into these universities. I'm not saying universities are evil. I'm just saying, don't get played. Don't get played. sometimes, you know what I do sometimes? I go sit in college classes. I just call the professor and like, hey, you're smart. Can I sit in for one day? I don't need the piece of paper. I just go to the class. And it's funny, people are like, you can't do that. Yep, I've done it at UCLA. I've done it at USC. I've done it at Harvard. I've spoken and taught at Harvard. But like I said, don't be a sucker. Don't be played. Okay? So I'm going to put that link again. Click that link. I got to go in a few minutes. It's in the corners, or you can just go to that URL right there, wherever it is. TyLopez.com/SMMA2live. I should spell this better. SMMA2 live. Don't always be an observer in the game of life. Sometimes you got to play the game yourself. Okay? Let me take a few questions. I was going to tell, oh yeah. So you basically need a script. Basically the script, you walk into a business, before you go into the business, you do a little research, you pull up their website. Most websites suck. They're not optimized for a cell phone. They're slow on Google. You can do Google speed tests, see that they're very slow. You can go to their website and be like, oh, they're not collecting email addresses. If you ask them doing Facebook ads, no, you're not doing Facebook ads. Well, why not? You can target customers for cheap. So you just walk into the business and you say, hey, don't mean to bother you, but I was up, especially if it's a restaurant, eat a meal there. Because then you say, hey, I just had a meal here, because then they listen to you because you're a customer. You just tell the manager or the owner, like, hey, I just noticed something. Like, your website doesn't even work. I can't even refer my friends. Like, I can't put my email address and get coupons for future meals. What's up? By the way, I'm a social media marketing expert. I've been certified. I went through a program to be certified as social media marketing expert. I'd love to help you. I got a free analysis I do right now. You're leaving money on the table. And the script's a little more exact than that, but that's the general thing. You walk into a dentist's office, hey, I don't mean to bother you. Always go in when the dentist is leaving for the end of the day. Most people go in at lunch. Don't go in at lunch. The doctor wants to take a break. One of my mentors told me, show up. If they leave at 4:59, be standing at that door. They walk by, you go, oh, by the way, I was just walking by. I was online doing a little research about your dental practice, and I noticed you don't advertise. I can't even tell my friends about you. You don't collect email addresses. You don't have an Instagram. People want to see you're legit. They want to know about your restaurant. They want to know about you. They want to see testimonials. This is the new world. By the way, I'm a social media marketing expert. I've been certified. I did a little, free audit and evaluation. If you want, I'll show you how to print it up on a piece of paper, hand it to them. But try to close the deal right there. Say, I'd love to come back and show you what I do. I charge between $1,000 and $10,000 a month. For some businesses, that's too expensive. But if you want the best, you need to pay for it. And I know how to do it. I learned from the best. I've been trained by the best. And I'm the one training you. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world at social media, but Forbes put me on the top 10 in the world as top 10 business influencer. So I'm in the top 10 if you believe Forbes. That's not an article I paid for. I didn't publish it. So, yeah. So I will be training you. And you guys all know that I know a thing or two about social media. I'm running it. Let me see. If you're wondering why you should learn from me, here's my YouTube statistics. This is not a screenshot. This is actual live analytics. We go to watch time. I started posting in 2015. You can see the graph starts there. I'm at 1.69 billion minutes. Okay? So you're learning from somebody. That's not counting Facebook, I'm over 2 billion minutes watched since 2015. It's a lot. I can show you what to do with those businesses to train them. Okay? So you go in, you give them the script. If you get good at it, 1 out of 3 businesses will say yes, sign a contract. You show them how they can cancel at any time, but most of them don't cancel if you're doing a good job because nobody else is doing this. Now, the reason you want to get in soon, I started this in 2016. Every single month that goes by, my students go out there and acquire customers. I'd say you got less than a year window to really be able to go into businesses because my current students are going out there, but there's huge opportunities still. Do not think it's saturated yet, but it will be saturated in the next, 1 to 3 years. And the other thing is even before it's saturated, profit gets harder to make. You got to be early to the game. All these people that are slow and fearful, you come in late to the game. That means when you could have made 10 grand a month, you're going to still make money, but like 5 grand a month because there's more people taking your customers. This right here, I challenge anybody at any university, any book out there to show you a more legitimate way to build a business for under $1,000. Legit businesses, consistently turning out success stories. Consistently. Not everybody's successful. Of the 25,000 people who went through the program, it's an online program. You do it on your phone. You do it on your laptop. 20% of them never opened the first training video. So that ain't my fault. People go, is everybody successful? No. Some people too stupid to even log into what they paid for. I can't fix stupid. You can't fix stupid, man. Just be like, ah. That's just, I feel bad for them. We give them a refund. It got 100% money back refund policy. Name a university in America or the world that has 100% money back guarantee. Did you get your money back for all the stupid classes they made you take in junior high and high school that you never will ever use, that are so outdated and antiquated, and taxpayer dollars was dropping at least $150,000 on your education? Did you get 10 grand back? It'd be great right now. They should have a IRS, or the government should be issuing refunds. Sorry. We forgot to teach you how to buy a house, invest your money. We forgot to train you how to save. We forgot to train you how to start businesses. We forgot to train you sales, closing techniques, psychology of reading people. But we did teach you how to memorize stuff that you can just Google. Do you really need to know the capital of Slovakia? Google was invented. It's better not to fill up your brain with stuff that's not practical, because now when you need the impractical stuff, you Google it. So common sense, it's unarguable, but people still try to argue it because they're defending their institution, and it's a very profitable institution for them. College debt alone is $1.5 trillion in America. Trillion, not billion. They make interest off that trillions. Interest, baby. You know how much interest you get on trillions? The U.S. government gets an insane cut on that because some of them are from government entities, and individual banks are charging crazy money. All these students, I read an article in my Wall Street Journal this week about a guy who went to law school, has been working 10 years, and his debt is now higher because the interest rolls, he couldn't pay it, than it was when he graduated law school. People digging themselves into a stole. And they're not even making what my students are making, and they got a law degree and they spent 12 years in school. I'm not saying there shouldn't be lawyers, although there probably should be less lawyers. It'd be a better world if there's more doctors than lawyers, but we got more lawyers than doctors, which makes no sense. All you people thinking of getting law school, good luck. I mean, if you really love law, do law. But if you're doing it for the money, poof. If I wanted to torture my enemies, I would be like, you should go into law school. Oh, here's my Forbes thing if you want to see. You can go to tylopez.com/Forbes, but this is Forbes. It's top influencers in business. Top influencers. There's my face. I hate the picture they used, which is proof that I had no part in this picture, in this article. Yeah. This thing they wrote about me. In 2016, he told Entrepreneur.com he advises aspiring influencers to consider using Instagram stories and Snapchat, as the nascent platforms are more powerful than anything. Hey, see, I was telling people back in 2016 to do Insta stories. That was before people were even... They didn't even have Insta stories. I was talking about Snap. But anyway, for another thing. So yeah, I got to go. Any quick questions that I can answer? Can you read some questions off for me? Ty, how can those of us who are overly sensitive get thicker skin? You just got to wake up. You got to wake up to the fact that only the strong survive in this world. And it doesn't mean you have to be mean, but you have to be strong. You can be silent and strong. You can be loud and strong, but you got to be strong. And thin-skinned people have a rough life. They really do. This world's not that nice of a place, and it's getting meaner. People are getting ruder. We used to live in big, small towns. Now we live in big cities. People know that they can get away with stuff. You better get that thick skin up, man. I've had to learn to get thick skin. I go on social media. People are insane. People get mad about everything. I can post a video giving money, giving $1 million to charity. People are like, oh, why are you going to do that to show off? Then I can post videos of, something not showing off. I can post videos of my grandma that's 100 years old, and people are like, oh, we don't follow you to learn about your family. So I just learn, ignore. LeBron James says, don't read comments. I only read comments during these live things to help people. Someone said, "Is there a monthly payment plan?" Yeah, go to the link below. You'll learn all the stuff about the payment plan. I got it where you can get in under $200. Okay, payment plan. I got a scholarship going under $200. If you think that's too much to invest in your future, ain't nobody gonna help you, because people are dropping $200 a day to go to college right now. Okay, you can get in for under $500. You can't even get a community college class taught by a professor who's never made money, who's going to teach you business and finance. And I see people going to entrepreneurship class. I'm like, oh my God, who's teaching you? It's rarely an entrepreneur. I'm like, let me get this straight. You want to learn a sport from somebody who's sitting in a chair and fat. Is that how you're going to learn bodybuilding? That's you're going to learn martial arts? Imagine this. You want to learn karate. I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Imagine if my teacher has never done Brazilian jiu-jitsu. He ain't never done it, but he has a book, a textbook, and he stands up and he lectures you, and it's like, okay, when someone attacks you, what diagram 3.0 says to do is you want to, I'm like, that's what college is when it comes to learning how to build a business. Very few entrepreneurs become college professors. There are a few, and those programs are fine, but not a community college. Why would somebody go become a professor and teach entrepreneurship and building business as a college professor? That means he was a shitty, pardon my French, he was a bad entrepreneur. You think I have time to teach a full-time class at community college? I got 15 different sources of income. Maybe when I'm 90, I'll volunteer and do it, but by the time I'm 90, I won't understand the game, because the game changes every year, so you got to be on the cutting edge, man. Okay. How long is a class? It's a 4-month certification program. I teach you everything. Month 1, how to set up the business, form your LLC, how to get the logo, the name. Month 2, how to do the work, how to do the marketing. I start training you even if you know nothing. How to do, what's the best thing to do for businesses, how to set up, what's the easiest, what things to avoid. Like, I don't recommend you manage their Twitter. Twitter doesn't give a good return for most businesses. Things like that, I'll save you time. Month 3, teach you how to get customers. But we talk about that. We talk about everything even in month 1. You should get your first customer within 1 month. Okay? You can get in fact, first paying customer, not a free. I teach you, don't do it for free. Now, you can give them a free evaluation up front, but no money, no honey. Don't let people disrespect you. That's Joel Southey, my first mentor, is like, dude, you do something good for people, they will pay you. And if not, screw them. They're bad people. It's funny. People go to Starbucks. You go to Subway or you go to McDonald's. You get a crappy burger. Does anybody ever go, McDonald's, I'd like a free Big Mac, free fries. So that's junky food. And people have no problem paying. You're coming into businesses. For example, Joe Soto, one of the other people who will train you, he makes $1.2 million a year. He's got 6 kids, I think, or 5. He lives in Washington, D.C. He's got a restaurant. He'll train you. It's a case study. I think in Michigan. He lives in D.C., but he has customers all around. You can just work them on the phone and stuff. It's a bar. He charges them $1,000 to $10,000 a month. I forget what it was, like $3,000. He increased their sales by $100,000 a month. They love him. He's only charging them $3,000 to increase their sales by $100,000. It's a great deal. Okay. Do you teach classes on how to create your website? Yep. We talk about that. Do you help on the contracts? Yep. We give you the guidance, samples. It's state by state, but we give you the basic template. 100 is the target. Don't know what that means. 100 income sources. What do you think about investing in art? Art, if you want to be an artist, have a side hustle. Art is sometimes hard to monetize, but you should still do it if you love it, but you might need a source of income. Ty, can you personally mentor me? I do, but I charge $100,000 to $1 million. Why? Because I don't like to do it. Because I'm busy, I like to travel. So what I do is I create a whole bunch of, this program you're about to get into, when you click this link above or below, it's got over, I think, 100 hours, 50 to 100 hours of training. We have live calls too, so you can ask questions. Different trainers come in. We've got a private Facebook group that you can ask questions. Yeah.
Someone asks, how many days remaining?
So we've got a scholarship running right now, depending on when you're watching this. If you're watching it live or a replay, click the link below. It'll tell you how much time. Right now, it's less than 3 days. And somebody said, will it work outside the U.S.? Are there businesses outside the U.S.? If the answer is yes, yes. People go, we'll work in India. Are there people in India selling stuff? Yes, they need customers. Are there restaurants? Are there dentists and doctors? Yes, yes, yes. The only place it won't work, communist countries. I don't know how to make it work because it's all weird. Like, so North Korea, if you're in North Korea, you're probably not able to watch this. If you're in China, you're probably not able. It probably doesn't work in highly communistic countries. All right, let me see how much time we've got to go. Oof.
You want to tell them that link again?
Yes, the link, I'll put it up. It's Tyler. If you don't see it below, for whatever bizarre reason, or you don't see a pop-up, I'll answer 2 more questions. And then, here's the thing. Trust me on this. When I first launched this, I understood why people were skeptical, because it was brand new. But you know what? The people who weren't skeptical, like Jaden Groves, he made $1.2 million his first year at 21 years old. He became a millionaire. You know? He just bought a big house in Denver. You can see videos I've got with him. The dude's made a lot of money. So you should have got in 2016, because it was real easy then, because there was no one doing this in the world. It's nuts. Like, not to pat myself on the back, but I basically created an industry. There were some other people before me teaching social media marketing, I found out later, but not at the reach that I had. Like, we created an industry. Every country in the world I go to, people come up to me on the street and like, dude, I've got a legitimate business that I built in 30 to 60 days that makes me 10 grand a month, 20 grand. One guy, Jose, he was one of the first people in. He does it for politicians. He's making 60 to 80 grand a month. He does Central and South American politicians pay him to do their Facebook ads. Like, dude. So, if you're skeptical now, why? Are you slow? There's nothing bizarre about this. It's not a multi-level marketing program. Okay? It's not a pyramid scheme. It doesn't make money by you telling 3 friends, and 3 friends tell 3 friends, and 3 friends tell 3 friends. It's nothing like that. It's like The Office. Remember that? Remember The Office with Michael Scott's like, it's not a pyramid scheme, and he draws it out and he's like, so here's you get 2 people under you, they get 3 people, and then what is it, Jim draws it and it's like a pyramid. And he goes, what's the other thing? I go, Michael, you always fall for these pyramid. What about that one email where you sent the guy all the money? He goes, when the son of the deposed prince of Nigeria personally emails you, you help him. This is not a Nigerian email scam. This is just, for all you people that aren't asleep, you'll know what I'm saying. You'll realize businesses need social media marketing. If you don't believe me, let me show you a wacky, crazy thing. The biggest businesses in the world are like, does it make sense that I have more followers on Instagram than Coca-Cola? Just ask yourself that. I got 2.7 million followers. Coca-Cola, last I checked. And it's not even just followers that matter. They got 2.5 million. Here's their engagement. First of all, their last post was 6 weeks ago. Ooh, that's so good. 54,000 likes. Let's look at their last video, because I like to look at videos. 170,000, and that's had since July 23rd to post. Let's look at my last video that has gone, let's say, 24 hours. I don't know. Here's the one with you. I already beat him in 24 hours. It's not even been 24 hours. 10 hours. I got more reach than all Coca-Cola. That's not boosted. Look right there. The promote button's never been pressed. I posted that in the middle of the night. We were out. I mean, it's just, here's one where I found a dude who looks just like me. 228,000. That's not even 24 hours ago. I'm beating Coca-Cola. So one of you should go to Coca-Cola and be like, yo, I'll do your social media marketing and charge them more than $1,000 a month though. Okay, if you get Coca-Cola as a client, feel free to charge them $100,000 a day. They got the money. So, what else? Now that you have my attention, Dominic said, but then he didn't write anything else. You got my attention, Dominic, but you forgot to write. You don't know how to close deals. I'm going to teach you guys how to close deals. You can't just open a deal and close it. Sir, I will do your social media marketing and charge you $1,000 to $10,000. Bye, I gotta go. That's Dominic. Dominic, you've been through the public school system, I could tell. So was I. I did not know this stuff. PayPal, payments possible. Here's the deal on that page. If you don't have the ability to pay, and you need PayPal, you live in like Babylonia or something, and you don't have credit cards, contact my customer support. But you'll see the time that's going to expire. I do scholarships and I open and close the program. I've had multiple test groups. I've got it open for another test group. So click the link. Don't be slow, guys. Do not be like the rest of the world and procrastinate. Most of the world procrastinates, my friend. Do you do social media management for businesses yourself? Yes, but I'm slightly different. I'm not trying to make $1,000 to $10,000 a month. I'm trying to make $10,000 an hour always. So I do social media marketing for my own companies that I start, like mentorbox.com. Me and a guy started that together. We got Walmart as a client. We use social media marketing exclusively. We got 68,000 paying recurring customers. So that was the product of social media marketing management that I do for my own brands. I used to occasionally do it for other brands, but so this business I'm showing you, this is a beginner business, or a beginning to intermediate. I'm not a beginner and intermediate entrepreneur anymore. I'm not the best entrepreneur in the world, but I ain't intermediate. And we built MentorBox. I've been showing the statistics every day, being very transparent. Here you can see, let's see how much money, this is my Stripe account for MentorBox. This is most of the income. We have some other sources. I'll unlock it with my thumb. Today it's made $18,500, and this year we've done $11.26 million. I spend 1 hour maximum a month on that business. So that's pretty good, right? My return per hour, so gross revenue is about $1 million. It's good pay, $1 million an hour. It's not all profit. We plow it all back in the business, but it's worth a lot of money. We got Walmart as a client. We got largest we're the Netflix of books. So, yeah. Can you talk more about e-commerce? That's a separate thing. This business, this and e-commerce, I would start this first. Use the profits to build e-commerce. E-commerce takes a little more cash usually. How do you get a company? Oh, that's about e-commerce. I don't have enough money to even start a business. What do you mean? I showed you a testimonial. Nicholas started with $100. You don't have $100? Go borrow $100. Come on now. That's not going in debt. No one gets in trouble for borrowing $100. Borrowing $100,000 for college could get you in trouble. $100, you should be. People hustle on the street. Just go do it. There's a guy in LA, he does push-ups. He says, I'll do $1 a push-up or a quarter a push-up or something. People always give him money. That dude, I guarantee you, is making like $500 a day. By the way, that's a second business. If you do not have the wherewithal to build a social media marketing agency that I'm training you on, go do push-ups for a quarter. You'll be in great shape, you know. So that is a trick that a homeless guy does. Hey, like I said, only strong survive. That guy's making it, you know. Yeah, the new SMMA course that I've opened is the 2.0 version. It's twice as good as the first one that I trained 25,000 people with in 2016. I added all the stuff that we realized we didn't have. All the exact scripts, all the exact ways to expand the business, the exact businesses to go after, and which ones don't make you money, and they won't sign contracts. So, Thai IQ must be high as fuck, he says, or AF. I thought he was just saying Thai must be high. Do I look high? I got red eyes because I'm jet lagged in London. I thought it was not a compliment, or maybe that is a compliment. Maybe you're saying I'm high. Is a compliment. What are our thoughts on MLM? MLM's fine. It's a great starting business. I would do this. You could do an MLM and this. For all you who are in network marketing, whatever, I don't have a strong opinion. I don't think it's a scam, but a lot of people do. This doesn't have any MLM component to it. I guess you could. You could tell businesses, for every person they refer to you, you'll give them money, and you could create a whole MLM, but I'm not part of that. You do whatever you want. It's a free country. Okay. I think I'm out. Click the link below. Click the link above. How long was that?
44 minutes.
44. Let's go. I want some success stories. Fill up my WhatsApp. I keep the top 700 in there. Get in my top 700. Hey, if you're really good, get in my top 300. I've been inviting my top 300 students around the world. No cost. I bring them to my house and have dinner and feed them. Crazy success stories. Just like the movie 300. Will you make it in my 300? This is a great way to make it in 300. These are absolute verified rags to riches people. My lawyers vet their accounting and their financials. I mean, people could still lie, but we check them pretty well. I got a kid. There's a guy in there, went from $0 to $700,000 a month, $100,000 net, using. It was a dude off the streets. I mean, not literally off the streets, but didn't grow up with nothing. He's under 25. I got all kinds. You can go Google on my YouTube, my 300 videos. I video the dinner, and you can go person by person. Ain't nobody an actor. Nobody's paid. They all come on their own. There's no incentive except a free meal I give them. Is that bribing them? Free meal at my house?
It's good food.
It's good food. I guess that's an ethical bribe. But I don't tell them what to say. In fact, most of these people, I don't even know what's up. My assistant sets it all up. I just walk into the dinner and spend an hour there and leave. But the stories, man, change your life. Don't complain about it. What's the saying? Be about it. Don't complain about it. We live in a little na-na-na-na world. Don't ever be part of the na-na-na-na. Be part of the doing. For those of you who are introverts, be the strong silent type. For those of you who like to talk, close deals. Work together with an introvert. That's a whole nother thing I talk about in the program. Okay.
One more time with the link.
TyLopez.com/SMMA2Live, or click the link in the description above. I'm headed to the club. I rented a McLaren. People always like, Ty, do you rent cars? This is one time I rented a car because I'm only in London for a week. Rent a little McLaren. You probably saw it on my Snapchat. Although, this traffic in London, you rent a McLaren and go about 3 miles an hour through London. This town got more traffic than Manhattan or LA. You got traffic at 2 in the morning. I'm like, what's up, man? These streets were built for horses. London wasn't built for cars. All right, talk to you guys soon. Somebody asked, do I know